Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Get Off the Damn Fence. I'm your host, Larry Caution, joined as I am each and every week by Calvin Thomas, Justin B.A. Barber Harris. Gentlemen, another week, another Thursday. Thank you for joining us on the Thursday night. How y'all doing tonight?
You know, everybody trying to outgun New York. That's what it look like.
That's what it look like to me.
That's what it look like.
That's what it look like to me.
Oh, sound nice. It sound
I
nice.
might not be able to use that line next year, guys. I'm going to have to just y'all might have to bear with me all off season, man. Right. Because you're on mute right now.
Yeah, he's on mute.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, he's still on mute.
You got to hit the button on the left, man.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
We go through it. But thank y'all, man. It's been rough. Anyway, I came into this week with a particular plan. We was going to start getting to some NFL, counting down to the season. We was going to continue on with our greatest NBA tournament, what the greatest teams, laying that down. We're going to get into that later on. Of course, we was going to touch on a few free agency moves here and there. Nothing major. There was no big free agents on the market. But golly, what has happened to the NBA over the last week? I mean, look, guys, we could talk about, Giannis. We talked about that when it happened. Giannis moving to Miami. That was a move with Kawhi Leonard, and we'll get into that as well. But we cannot start anywhere else other than this move that was made by the Boston Celtics.
Man. I thought you were going to say Mitchell Robinson going to the Boston Celtics, but I understand.
Doesn't even ring a bell.
Man,
understood.
What the hell is going on? Like, look, I get it. In any trade, there's going to be a little bit of a give and take. You know what I mean? There's going to be, you're giving up. If you want to offload an asset, everybody knows you want to get rid of someone. You might not get everything that you want in return. So a lot of times teams will stand pat, wait till later on, maybe see if they can fix things, patch things up, wait till the All-Star break maybe. See where the team's going. But if you're not getting the compensation that you initially set out for, what is the rush to trade someone on June the 1st? I mean, July the 1st, excuse me.
Yeah.
To me, this is malpractice at the highest order. I can't call it nothing else but that, but I'm going to toss it to you all first, and then I'll give my true feelings on the back end. Calvin, you heard a little bit of how I feel. I want to know what you think.
Shout out to Philly for being contenders. Like, I think we can honestly say they are contenders in the East. I think we can say that they can go into any series and have the best player on the floor, and he's not named Joel Embiid. And it's the what is he? Second team All NBA last year, reigning Finals MVP, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, Jaylen Brown. Like, look, when a move like this falls into your lap, you got to make this move. You got to pull the trigger. And they gave up less than the Lakers gave up to get Walker Kessler. We can talk about that later because I'm pissed about that. I don't want to digress. But look, what happened with Boston and Jaylen Brown? That's the question that I have. Was this a ownership move? We know they've been getting cheaper and trying to cut payroll the last couple of years since they won the title. Is that it? Is this a Brad Stevens move? Is his relationship with JB? Was it bad? Is the relationship with Tatum? Was that a point? Because we've never heard Tatum speak up for Jaylen Brown at any point. I'm talking about in their careers. True. We never heard Tatum or Brown speak up for each other. He's supposed to come on his Twitch account since the season ended. That never happened. Never heard why. But he's filming commercials with his mama and Ellie Mae. And they say that they're two different personalities, but does that play a part? But they're winning. So I think Boston has set their team back. I don't think they'll be contenders for the next couple of years. And how do you trade someone in your division, not just your conference, but in your division? Does that show his worth as well? Because like we just talked about, this is a second team All NBA, a top 10 guy in the league last year, and it's only for 2 first-round picks when Walker Kessler went for 2 first-rounders and 2 swaps. Like, I don't get it. This is a great move by Philly. I think they're going to embrace JB, and I think this team is going to contend in the East. Like, you can honestly make a case, second best team in the East right now. And I wouldn't argue with you. So Boston's loss is Philly's gain. I think JB's going to be happy to be there. I think you're going to ball out in Philly.
Yeah. Justin?
Man, so, my wife asked me, why do I look so distraught? and I had to tell her. The situation at hand. I had to tell her. I gave her the whole background of Jaylen Brown and what he's meant to Boston. Finals MVP. When Tatum was out, similar to KD and Russ, when both of them was missing most of the season, the other person showed their worth. Like, I am a franchise player. He had his moment, took his team to number 2 overall in the East, and no one really had them going past if the first round, maybe even a play-in team, maybe not even the playoffs. Which is why he said that this is his best season, because of the negative outlook that they have.
His favorite season.
Yeah.
So people misconstrued that and everything like that. I get that part, but it's just adds to the fact that he was tired of being 1B. He believes he's a 1A. I think he himself thinks that he's a 1A, which most people do. Most people that superstars feel like they're 1A. But this makes light, especially I think Brian Windhorst said that Boston feels as if Derek White had a better upgrade to his season over Jaylen Brown.
I saw that shit.
And that goes straight to the Olympics, right? They chose Tatum. They chose White. They did not choose him for whatever reason, whether you want to have politics, whether you want to have skill set, whatever the case, he was not chosen. So he's constantly, for years, in his eyes, being overlooked. So he has to go, right? You had the best season that you ever had as an individual. Giannis comes up. They don't want him, right? Like, no, we need you to sweeten the pot. Boston says, no, we're not doing that. Okay, cool. Why am I even on the trade block for Giannis? So this is the question that he's asking right now. So he might be to the point where he's disgruntled enough where he says, I got to go. I've drawn my line in the sand. There it is right there. The team that had 101 odds to get to this guy was the Philadelphia 76ers. 100-1. They didn't have no good piece to really offer off. Maybe Maxey, maybe if you want to be, what I'm saying? They wanted VJ. They said, no, you're not taking VJ, right? So we're going to offer you someone that used to be a former Jaylen Brown 5 or 6 years ago, 7 years ago. He used to be a close equivalent to Jaylen Brown. The problem is that same 7 years ago, it's the same age gap between Paul George and Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
I'm going to get somebody that Jaylen Brown's been healthy majority of his career. And I'm going to replace him with somebody that averages about 40 games a season for the last 7 years of his career. All right, maybe they're trying to save money. Okay. Paul George is making about $50 million this year and about 50 plus next year.
Yeah.
Now that third year, off the books. Understood. Yeah. But that's still 2 more years that you're going to be paying something similar that she was going to be paying JB anyway. So where is the benefit other than maybe a draft pick or 2? There is none, ladies and gentlemen. There's none. There's no benefit for the Boston Celtics to make that move for someone that's just not on the same page. It's not even close. It's not even in the same spectrum that is the Jaylen Brown that is right now of the past season of the NBA. So that tells you that it could be something else. Maybe JB has something. Maybe ownership said, how dare you talk to me in the way that you're talking to me? I can say JB telling some people that's in the ownership to F off. You know, he's a man's man. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a very educated black man. Maybe that's it. Maybe they say get him out of here, and I don't care the cost. Get him out of Boston. Maybe that's what it is. We don't know, and we're not going to find out until maybe ESPN do a 30 for 30 20 years from now. Fact of the matter is, Philadelphia now has Jaylen Brown, Joel Embiid. If he plays the majority of the game, we're going to give him. We give him the same amount of games we gave Paul George, 40 games. Yeah. Cool, long as it's for the playoff stretch. Okay, you have Maxey, which it was turning to be Maxey's team. And I told y'all every time we play against Philadelphia, I'm not worried about Embiid. It's Maxey, the person that I'm worried about. That's on wax. And then you have this up and coming rookie, VJ, which is, I mean, the sky's the limit for him. They have a great team. And they just picked up Anthony Simons, for Chicago or whatever, like to be a guard backup. So all three of those guys I just mentioned, he can fill in every last one of those positions. Philadelphia is primed and ready to make a playoff run, a finals run. Boston is going to hope that Tatum can do what JB just showed that he could do. That's where we're at.
Did you believe the Bill Simmons report about Giannis?
What part?
The reason he's not in Boston because they didn't want to guarantee 3 years, or they didn't want to give him a 3-year extension.
It was the extra year or something like that.
They only wanted to do 2.
I say
that's the reason he didn't say yes.
When there's smoke, there's fire. I think Windhurst maybe said that there was an extra. Somebody said there was an extra player that that's on Boston's roster that they wasn't willing to cut ties with.
Okay.
Either way, either scenario is not a good enough scenario. Once you go that far, you should have just kept going, and then you should have.
I agree.
You pull the trigger to get Giannis, so at least you can say that and not look like. Danny Ainge would never have done this.
You say face that way. I agree.
Danny Ainge would never have done this.
I just don't understand from a Boston perspective, because that's why I'm looking at it from. We'll talk about Philly in a minute. How can you go back to your fan base and say we did the best thing we could for the betterment of the team, and you come back with Paul George? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. The question that needs to be answered is, did Jaylen Brown, once it was floated that he would be traded and y'all couldn't execute that trade, did he now demand a trade? And did he say, I will not play for the Celtics any longer? Aside from that, there was no reason to make this move. Unless Jaylen Brown went in there and said, I'm disrespected. I don't want to play here anymore. I don't want to play second fiddle to Jason Tatum. I don't want to be a 1A, 1B type of guy. I'm a Batman.
I'm gonna pause right there. I'm gonna pause you right there. When you say 1A, 1B, did anyone ever say that Tatum was the 1B out of that?
That's a good point. Especially at the last year.
You feel me? 1A,
2 years ago.
I've heard people say
the majority of media and the like always puts Tatum first.
Go by that. Yeah. You've heard
lot
of players say
that's what he's going by, though.
Was the best player. A lot
He's
of
not
players
talking about the
say
players. He's talking about the media. He's talking about everything else.
That's my point, though. To me,
I was agreeing with you, but I wasn't trying to derail.
Yeah, I get that, but to me, it's not really about 1A, 1B type stuff. But if in his mind he told them he does not want to play on a 1A. What good is then the answer is, okay, we're going to send you to Philadelphia where you're playing with Maxey and Joel Embiid. So to me, that doesn't even make sense. Does he have a no trade clause? No. So clearly they could send him anywhere he wanted. So is he now going to be disgruntled in Philadelphia because now he's not the man in Philly? Is that Joel's team? Is that Maxey's team? One could say that he's played as an ensemble player the majority of his career, his entire career. He's had Tatum, Al Horford. He's always had multiple
Kyrie, Gordon Hayward.
He's always had other players to play off of. So we've never seen him. And you'll say last year, well, like you say, Derek White up this game. He always had role players who did their job. Porzingis had played in the past. Like, again, he's not like going to Toronto like Kawhi Leonard did that time, or he's not going to New Orleans and say, I'm about to get this out the mud. Like, no, He's going to Philly. He's going to be getting richer and richer. So to me, I don't see the glimmer here. What was the mindset behind the move? It was Brad Stevens, right? Like, what was the move here in his mind that was one going to make the Boston Celtics better? Because that's his job. His job is not the player. His job is what's best for the Boston Celtics. And that he think this was the best package he was going to get in return, period, for the rest of the year. Or did he feel like we need to put this behind us and we need to move on with a fresh start this summer, and we don't want this lingering on to the next season? And then if that's the answer, what is this that's lingering on? What is the big thing that was heaping over this team? Was it the fact that he wanted more money? Was it the fact that he wanted a bigger extension? Like, what is the thing that we're missing that you felt the need to trade this man on July 1st rather than waiting it out, seeing if another team emerges in the season before the trade deadline where you could get more assets in return? I just don't see the benefit for the Boston Celtics. Calvin?
There is none, because in my opinion, if there was a benefit, you would either trade him last year before this season, try to get a tank and get one of the 4 prospects we've talked about over the last month.
While Tatum was out,
or you wait while Tatum was out, or you wait until it gets closer to this season, someone gets desperate, trade deadline, someone gets injured, and then you have a better package. But even still, if that was the case, you would have moved heaven and earth to get Giannis, regardless of what happened, to save face. Are you doing, like you said, you made a comment, is he doing this for the best of the organization? Is he doing it because they want to be cheap? Is he doing it because they just fell out of whatever the rift is with JB? It just got too far to repair? Did Tatum ever come to the table and say, hey, let's sit down and get through this because we can win championships here? And that's what we do in Boston. There's so many unanswered questions. And unfortunately, I don't think we get a response from JB unless Boston speaks first. And then he has to defend his legacy, defend himself against Boston. So I don't think we'll ever know. But for him to get traded in the division to another team that's a contender that beat you in the playoffs this past year. They just beat them. They just came back from 3-1 and beat them. And then you trade arguably your best player or second best player, or however you choose to look at it. Something doesn't sit right.
And here's another thing. Right. You make this trade on July 1st. The season's been over for you for a while now. You went out in the first round.
Yeah.
Why would you do it after the NBA draft? Why not try to offload him? I'm sure that we know about the Milwaukee deal, but you settled for Paul George. I'm sure someone else in the top 5 might have been interested in a Jaylen Brown. I'm sure that you could have got some type of asset that would have gave you a first-round pick and in return for a Jaylen Brown. I don't know. Washington might not have come up off the number 1 pick for him, but look, AD
could have got the 5 with the Clippers.
AD's out there. We've been hearing about AD not being happy in Washington. I just think this is malpractice on behalf of Brad Stevens and this Boston team. And then you trade him to the team in your division who just defeated you in the first round. So it's not like you're empowering a lower level team. You're empowering a true contender who has the ability to now we know the history of Joel, so we're not going to heap too much on that. But Maxey, Edgecombe, and Brown as a 3, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. You can add some pieces around that.
Hey, and what if you get what if the king comes?
No, he's not going there. But with that being said,
we can have that conversation too. But I think it's a possibility.
We can have that conversation next. But at the same time, it's not just that. It's not just a physical team. It's the city, right? Like,
you destroy your fan base.
Boston and Philadelphia are so close in a sense, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the amount of animosity that's going to be there, and Philly has a way of letting you know how they feel. Boston has a way to let you know how you feel about them. So it's just like it's not even best for your fan base, in which they can get rowdy in Boston. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all a question. Do we have any? I know this is Brad Stevens. It's 100% Brad Stevens in the ownership, 100%. But do we have any type of look towards Jason Tatum saying you didn't say anything publicly or not?
But does he ever say anything?
Maybe this is the situation. That maybe this is the time he would. He should.
Maybe he will. I can't get past the fact that at the end of the day, you trade him within the division.
Yeah.
Bad enough.
Yeah.
But also to a team that legitimately put you out in Game 7, and you had a 3-1 lead.
Yeah.
We talked about KD and OKC back in the day with Golden State.
Yeah, this is an organization doing it.
Yeah.
And then they gave him a finals piece. Like it's not
You
just they made him
rewarded
better.
Yeah.
You rewarded them though.
They gave them a fight. Like this team can go to the championship and win it.
Even without Embiid, if you got Drummond, like you have a serviceable center.
Right. They honestly don't need Embiid as much as they did before.
Like you said, let them play 40 games. Let them play every other game and be healthy in April.
But my thing is, if anything, the weakness a lot of people said about Philly last year, you got Embiid and George, both of them health is going to be an issue.
That's exactly what I said.
You took George out the books.
Yeah.
You freed him up. No, and gave him a younger, stronger, faster, better two-way player. Something that they don't have. This team don't live and die by the three. You know what I mean? No. I think Jaylen Brown take the most 2-pointers in the league last year. Like,
but didn't he get to the free throw line? Like he was had the third most free throw attempt, like that.
He did what he criticized everybody else for.
He was doing whatever he could to keep that team afloat.
And got that team to 50 wins and was number 2 seed.
Number 2 seed, yes.
That's why I don't buy the organization and him weren't on good terms or something. Because you don't ship a guy to a contender of this magnitude. You rewarded him. If you're going to be pissed at somebody, you send him to Phoenix or you send him to, Phoenix ain't too bad. But Memphis, you know what I mean? Like
to Milwaukee, where he's not going to contend.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people say. Yeah. You could at least got Ja Morant out of the deal.
You had to get Giannis stuff.
You could have got Ja Morant at least.
That's true. You could have got Kawhi Leonard.
That's shooting high. I'm trying to go as low as I can, but still be a serviceable seller to your franchise, to the fan base.
Honestly, that's the only two moves I would have been like,
Paul
okay,
George.
If you get me Kawhi Leonard from the Clippers and we send Jaylen Brown over there, okay, I understand that. If you get me Giannis, of course, you make that move. Hell, KD, like somebody, like I need a move that's comparable in some way. Paul George ain't it. I know I'm stuck on this, but anyway.
I want to go back to your question. Do you blame Tatum, or how much blame does he deserve?
I can't say that.
It had to be a certain point.
I don't know the move.
He knew that they was going to go ahead on and say like we're going to move off of Jaylen Brown.
So do you think
that conversation, if he really felt strongly about his running mate, then he should have said something like, "Hey man, we don't go nowhere without JB." That could have been a tweet and just kept it moving.
So do you think he wants what Brown had last year?
I think the competitive in it says it's my turn now.
I can. You're not winning though. You're not winning.
He's not going to be second. He's not going to be second. No.
So
that Boston team is not going to be second in the East.
I just don't get this, man. Apparently, teams was trying to come for Tatum and they shot him all down. Like so,
I didn't hear that. I didn't know
Tatum
that.
was untouchable. You know what I mean? Like,
and you don't think JB knew that for years?
Oh yeah,
that goes to my 1A 1B thing.
Yeah. You can tell
he's untouchable.
Just by the way.
But I'm the one on the block.
People talk about him versus Tatum, and how the conversation flows, and how it's Tatum and Brown, it's Jaylen, it's Jason. It's that flow of the conversation. So I think you can tell, especially when you listen to like NBA radio, watch NBA TV, it's always Tatum coming up first. And even last year, there were no expectations for this team, and they got to the number 2 seed. But even still, it was Tatum's coming back. how far can they go with Tatum back? And it wasn't, JB got him to number 2 seed. Can they get to the conference finals without Tatum? It was always the conversation changed late in the year.
It was never how can Tatum help Brown? It's always now that Tatum's back.
What is Tatum going to bring to the table?
What are y'all going to do? Yes.
I mean, at the end of the day, Game 7, Tatum wasn't there. Y'all was up 3-1 when Tatum was healthy. Brown had a chance. I mean, if he wins that game, maybe this doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like
I don't. But they're supposed to win because they were still a 2 seed with Brown, so they were supposed to win. So I think the loss goes on Brown versus more than Tatum.
It goes on their bigs because they had no answers for Joel Embiid. It's as simple as that. They had no answers for him.
So you're saying if Tatum was healthy, it wouldn't have mattered?
No, I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that either.
The game was
when
close.
you get to the playoffs, you either need your guns or you need some highly serviceable role players. Their role players were not highly serviceable.
Jaylen Brown's played like trash in the fourth quarter of that Game 7. That's what happened. He turned the ball over.
Game. I ain't want to say the fourth quarter.
He played bad the whole game, but I'm just saying there were key possessions where he turned the basketball over. He flopped. Remember that one flop he had? Yeah. Y'all probably don't remember, but yeah, I'm not saying he played his best, but you don't trade him to Philly. I'm sorry, man. He's still a great player. He's still a great player.
Is there another Boston move?
At what point? What's your asset other than
maybe
those first round picks?
I heard that they're trying to get Trey Murphy, but that can't be it.
That ain't moving the needle.
Yeah, it's got to be something else.
That ain't moving no needle. But anyway, that was the shocker, and everybody's still scratching their head. I was watching something because I was out, watching shows and hearing different reactions around the country today, and everybody just, you got Knicks fans, you got, Miami fans who thought with the move they made that they was going to take another step. And some people really feel that way. You had some teams who feel like, hey, LeBron come here, that's the big splash move. But now this move by Philly just puts them in a position where, damn, they are another tough team in the East that could really be a major hurdle. Not that the Knicks not going to be there, not that Miami still won't play a factor. We'll get into that in a second. But this is a big splash, man. That's a big splash. Justin.
No, go ahead. How far are we going to get into Miami?
Let's get into them now. So the Milwaukee Bucks finally pulled the trigger on the trade that had been long talked about with Giannis Antetokounmpo going to the Miami Heat. Miami is now looking to start with Bam Adebayo and Giannis Antetokounmpo as the two big stars of the team. That's his name.
You damn sure missing a syllable. I know you're missing a syllable. But I can't add that syllable for you. So
just say young. Help you. Just keep that young.
I know I can't help you, so I can't talk about it. Go ahead.
So there will be the new age. And look, Bam ain't that big. I mean, to me, Giannis is bigger than Bam, ain't he? Like far as size, height.
Yeah, I don't think Bam is 6'11", and Giannis is definitely.
But Bam plays center position more so than how Giannis like to play as a wing. He likes to be more of an outside guy, inside out type guy. So I think that they will play complementary basketball in some ways. We know about the game last year where Bam scored all them damn points, but that was an anomaly.
Damn.
It was an anomaly.
That scored 80 is an anomaly. What are you talking about?
He scored the most amount of points in NBA history. You just kind of disregard it.
Whatever. But when we look at this Miami roster,
I know you don't. I know you hate on Wilt Chamberlain, but stop it.
Show me the footage.
But when we look at this Miami Heat roster, can we honestly look at it as currently constructed right now and feel like this team is a legitimate Eastern Conference threat? Justin, what's your thoughts as you get into it?
So the Miami Heat, as currently constructed, as
Andrew
Wiggins, 3-and-D guy, one of the best ones in the league right now.
Resign.
You have two bigs that can, like you said, play off of each other, rotate, do a whole bunch of things, quick on their feet, very good defensively sound, especially Giannis with the swap block type of a game. You have Mitchell, who is a pretty good defensive point guard.
He was more of a role player last year. We'll see.
Right now, he's going to step up a little bit. Mm-hmm. As currently constructed, it's only one thing that they're missing.
They went out and got Tim Hardaway Jr.
That is a good thing that he can come off the bench because somebody else is going to start for this team.
Who?
LeBron James is coming to Miami. That's what's happening. That's the one piece that makes perfect sense for LeBron James. He has every defensive liability that he has covered. Everything is covered. The one thing that LeBron James does well, even up until this late in his career, is to play, make, and pass. We just seen it. He beat KD by doing that. That's what this team needs. He's familiar with the system. He's familiar with the people. If he can go back to Cleveland, then he can go back to Pat Riley. There's no other perfect match for him in order to take a team to greatness more so than Miami Heat. And that's why I think that they are an extreme threat because they have the high potential of landing him. And if they get him, then you can go ahead on and say that they're going to be top 3 in the East as well.
I hear you. And before, let me set that up a minute. So it is official. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers are moving on. Rich Paul released a statement earlier this week. The Lakers responded, in kind, thanking LeBron for his time in LA. Before we move on to what Justin said, Calvin, quickly, give me your thoughts as our resident Laker fan. LeBron's 8 years in LA from 1 championship. What's your overall feelings on the Kings' time in Hollywood?
Rob Pelinka did him a disservice, in my opinion, at this point, finally catering or upgrading the roster to an extent, finally getting a center, something that AD asked for his last 2 years in LA, getting shooting, getting playmaking. They wanted to build this team around Luka, which is fine, but I don't see this team being any better than they were last year when they made it to the Western Conference semifinals without Luka and without Austin Reeves, who are your best 2 players on the team. I don't know if a team with the salary cap restrictions and the second apron that we have currently in this NBA, when you're paying Luka, Austin Reeves, and Walker Kessler as your top 3 players, can contend in the West. I don't think that's possible. I don't think this team will go as far as they did last year. I don't like the moves that were made. I still think playmaking is a build. And this is actually a good LeBron team as well when you look at it. But you could tell the relationship is strained between the new ownership, Rob Pelinka, and LeBron. But I'm not a fan of moves in LA.
You don't like the white boy assassins y'all putting together nice little.
I forgot what they call it.
A little KKK.
I forgot what they call it.
The LA Quakers.
No, that wasn't. It was something else. It was something else. I can't think of what it's called right now.
Okay, but moving on to the Miami of it all. What's your thoughts?
I don't think it's enough with Bam and Giannis. I need to see the spacing. I need to see Giannis play like Giannis of 2 years ago, be that MVP caliber player. I don't think they're the best team in the East. I don't like the fit with him and Bam. I don't know if he can play with another person specifically in the post like that. I don't see it. I mean, and I could be wrong, but they still need to fill out the roster as well. Like signing Tim Hardaway Jr. doesn't do it for me, and his dad not giving him number 10, which is a whole nother situation, which I thought was hilarious. But they need to fill out that roster, and I don't know if they can do it. And your best 3 players are Andrew Wiggins, Giannis, and Bam. I don't see that. You're not better than Detroit. You're not better than New York. You're not better than Philadelphia now, in my opinion. So I just don't see the fit, and I don't even see LeBron going there. I don't see them as the best situation in the East now. Now I think it's Philadelphia. I still think Golden State's number 1. And I think that's where he prefers to be, West Coast. He wants to play with Steph. They have the cap. They can get AD as well, which he still wants to play with AD. I think that's still number one, but there's gonna have to be another team that has a better situation because obviously it's not money, it's fit and it's can I win a ring. And I think fit in regards to Philadelphia, where you don't have to be the best defender, you're not the primary ball handler. On nights where Embiid doesn't play, you can step up in the offensive role as well. I think that's the better fit in the East, unless you want to say New York, which I don't think you go to New York because it just won a title. And I think that matters as well in regards to reputation, how you win. And I think in the West, is Golden State. If you can get a big and you can kind of fill out that roster, but Miami, I just don't see the fit.
That's a lot of ifs for other teams, and Miami don't have those ifs. What
Miami doesn't have a fit.
What fit do you need?
So you're having LeBron play the 3. And now, essentially, they're going to interchange. You're going to say Giannis is going to play.
LeBron is going to play the worst player on the court. Don't matter the position.
I don't see the shooting in Miami.
Andrew Wiggins shot 40%,
and you're gonna have LeBron just secondary ball handler still at 40. Like he's going to be
the primary ball handler.
He's still going to be at 42. He's your primary ball handler. I don't like that as well.
Yeah, he's going to be setting the plays up.
Okay, I don't want that as well as at 42.
I think it's tough. I still like him in Denver. I really do.
That's another one I like.
Denver has expressed interest, so
we talked about that. I heard once they said it, I said, yeah, we did. They listened to the show, but at the same time,
How would you rank him? How would you rank him? 1 to 3.
I don't think that he goes to Golden State if AD don't go. I think that made sense, but Washington said they're not willing to get up off of AD.
They should.
I agree they should, but I think if that's a picks thing, if you up the ante, it's just a matter of how much of a future.
But AD also wants to get paid. I think that's the issue for AD. Yeah. I don't know how much Golden State can actually pay him.
I don't think is Washington going to pay him.
They have an opportunity to pay him because they got a rookie. Him and Trae Young.
But I mean, Golden State can pay him too as long as he's on the roster. I don't think that's a problem either.
But like I say, if he doesn't go there, LeBron is not going there to play with Steph and Draymond. You ain't winning nothing with them.
True.
So I just don't see the
Golden State too much defensively. That's what I just chose the easiest defensive assignment for him, and that's that. I think it starts there. We saw him in LA.
Easy defensive assignment though.
But I don't think he wants to jump on that bandwagon. I really don't.
Agreed. And I
Philadelphia.
He has to be.
He's not moving to Philly. I can see him moving to Miami. He has a home in Miami. I can see him moving. Going to Golden State because he can still live in LA. That's feasible. Denver, even that's a short ride from LA.
Well, he's very close with Denver's owner, Conkley. So
because he owned the Rams, right?
Yeah,
I think so. So it's a lot of similar to it's a lot of their friendship there. But I think out of those three, like I said, Miami's number one. Is familiarity. He knows everything. He can actually make a significant offensive upgrade to that team, and defensively, he can hide for stretches. And I'm talking about stretches and stretches of the game. Number two, I think it will be Denver because they still have, like I said, defensive players that can. They still got Aaron Gordon and some other pieces. So it's like, okay, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to get isolated. If he goes to Golden State, he's going to get picked apart. From a basketball
perspective.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Basketball. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Purely basketball.
And even for Golden State, he's gonna be on islands. Like, how many defensive players you think Golden State got? They didn't got that many.
Yeah. That's why the AD point, the AD pieces. So
AD ain't AD no more.
You're right.
To me, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you're right. You're right.
That's a buddy thing. Like, I got all the buddies together, and then we're going to try to do it.
And
I don't know about that message about AD. I think AD has got to be motivated and healthy. Like, I think AD's motivation comes from being mentally motivated. It has to be when he got shipped to Dallas. I really think that crushed his soul, especially when he was unsure if LeBron had a hand in it or not. Like, if he felt like he got betrayed and he did not want to play in Dallas. You can tell he was not happy. Then you ship him off to Washington, to purgatory. He could have played. The man sat out. Let's call it what it is. Like,
they were also trying to get that number 1 pick too. So I think
yeah, I mean, so it's not like he wasn't healthy. If you go back and look at his games played for the last several years, it hasn't been as bad as like it might look on paper, because a lot of people miss games, especially now with these the rules that they've changed and everything like that.
Yeah, the draft rules. Yeah,
I just think AD needs to be motivated. Does going to Golden State with LeBron, Steph, Draymond motivate AD? I don't think it's his first pick. To be honest with you, I think there are better basketball options out there. Now, Steph need to get his health together. He's had some major health issues the last several seasons as well. So, no, from a basketball perspective, I don't see it in Golden State. Denver, I think LeBron would fit in like a glove. I think he would be good there. I think from a Jamal Murray and Joker, and he doesn't necessarily have to be the primary ball handler, but he can do it. And if Joker not handling the ball, Murray not handling the ball, having LeBron as your third option, I think that's a good basketball thing. The thing with Miami, Pat Riley, man, I don't know if LeBron want to be back under that.
Back to Dan Gilbert.
True.
That's my caveat.
But Dan Gilbert never took his cookies, man. Like Dan Gilbert never.
No, all he did was just put a goddamn ad out in the paper saying how much he's trash. You know what I'm saying?
But here's another thing: Dan Gilbert is dead and gone. Right?
He's not dead. No,
who died?
He's sick. He's sick. He's not dead.
No, he ain't dead yet. I'm thinking of
and he went back to him, but while he was still up and popping, he was nothing wrong with him.
There is an argument to make that LeBron's final year could be back in Cleveland. There's an argument there.
It doesn't fit basketball wise, but and this is the thing: if it's the final year and you filming it, it makes sense. But basketball wise, I got to go Denver, Philly. Denver because you're playing with Jokic. He's still arguably the best player in the league. You can still win. I think the Philly pieces in the East. You're not in the West. You don't have to play Wemby or Jokic to the finals. And then it's a toss-up. It's like everybody else. Like it could be Miami, it could be Cleveland, but they're not good basketball fits as Denver and Philadelphia. Basketball fits, and you want to compete, it's one of those two. If it's about anything else besides that, it can go anywhere else. Like I don't see Miami. Miami, in my opinion, right now is a middle of the tier East team. They're 4 or 5 seed.
They're still Giannis.
They're not that much better with LeBron.
They're still Giannis.
So are they better? Are they better than
we have not mentioned? There's a team we have not mentioned. He could go to San Antonio.
I think he's still Giannis before they signed Tobias Harris. Yes. So
he can go to Houston. Nah, him and Ime Udoka hate each other. That wouldn't work.
Wait. So you got you got Miami better than the Knicks?
He said Miami it would be the move. He's comfortable there.
Yeah.
You said they're better than the Knicks?
No, they're not better than the Knicks.
They're not better than the Knicks, But when I said top 3, I think they will usher themselves right up in the top 3, next to Philadelphia, next to New York. We want to see how the playoff rock out.
Yeah, it's crazy. What if you go to Chicago?
Somebody say go to Washington. Go to Washington like MJ.
Go to Washington. Yo, if you want AD that bad, come on to DC. Them tickets going to be crazy. Yo, him, Trae Young, AJ, and AD. Hey, man, run it. Nah, it ain't going to happen. But still, it would be fun, though. Anyway, it's going to be interesting, man. The moves were interesting. I will say that.
How long does this play out?
A man on the golf course. He said, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Y'all figure it out. You know what I mean? He ain't in no rush.
After the World Cup.
You got to get the headline.
You got to get the headlines. Yeah.
Gotta get the
U.S. is too good right now.
Look, after Summer League, too. It's around the same time.
Ain't nobody worry about no damn
Nobody care about no damn Summer League. that is not stopping him from grabbing headlines.
AJ versus DP next week.
Man, that's all well and good. But if he wanted to say where he's going in
halftime,
it's going to be straight
to LeBron in Summer League. You're going to show up in Summer League with a Philly jersey.
What he need to do, he need to go ahead on and find the same person that he talked to back in 2010 or whatever, had that same outfit. He needs to say that he's taking his talents to South Beach. That's what he needs to do.
That would be funny. Do a reenactment. All right,
He
so
already did that with the beer commercial.
real
Right.
quick,
He was teasing.
do y'all think Kawhi requested to go back to Toronto?
They don't have them same extradition orders in Toronto that they got in LA.
Because Toronto ain't a bad squad.
With that accurate stuff, whatever he cooked up in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way to get out of trouble. We got to put that out.
Canada.
He's out the country.
I thought Tory Lanez tried to hide up there, and they still got with him.
It gives him more options. You might get an extra 6 hours if they come to get you. That's that. But like I said, we're gonna go back to basketball.
They're not a bad team. It's not a bad.
That ain't a bad team, man.
No, that's not a bad fit either. Scotty Barnes.
The East is tough.
Yeah,
the East is tough.
Yeah.
Now I don't like them giving up BI for that, but
I think that was the easy move in my opinion.
It's an upgrade for sure.
I think Barrett and Barnes are better fits in Toronto with Kawhi.
Barnes took a step last year for sure. RJ Barrett, Kawhi, right. That's a good squad.
It's almost similar to his that 2019. If you can, I can see your Pascal Siakam at 2019 to a 2026 version of Scotty Barnes. That's not that. They're pretty comparable.
I think Scotty better defensively too.
There we go. So
he shoot better from the three.
And
Siakam more of an inside guy, like 220.
Whatever BI average, Kawhi can average. It's not. He's not taking too much.
If he stays healthy like he did last year, he proved last year that was probably the best season in a while, where he proved he can stay on the court. You know what I mean? And he's effective. He wasn't like the old 18 points. He was big time.
He's still king of the North. Like he worked in that title.
Yeah, they excited up there. They excited.
They should be.
Sure. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be crazy, and that's what also make me wonder about LeBron. Because we know about the two big dogs out in the West. You know, San Antonio, OKC. That's an insurmountable hill to climb. You got your Denver's. Minnesota made a move. They went and got. Did we talk about that?
No,
I don't think we talked about that. Okay,
LaMelo.
We talked about it in text, but we didn't talk about it on the show. So since last week, the Charlotte Hornets made the traded LaMelo Ball to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And look, at the end of the day, like I said when we were texting about this, I don't have necessarily a problem with you offloading your big men if you feel like you're getting an asset back in return and you want to change the style of basketball you're playing. Naz Reid is not he's not the starting power forward, but the fact that a week prior, or it might have been a few days prior, you traded away your starting power forward, and then you trade away his backup the next week. That's where my concern comes, because now the advantage that you had before, which was your inside dominance and how y'all ran Denver off the court, how y'all was able to destroy Joker, basically. Not that he didn't have good numbers, but they had Rudy Gobert playing Joker. You could throw like multiple big bodies at him where it made it very difficult. And then your young guys, McDaniels and them, could play physical style of basketball, and you could it just made the game a lot easier. Now you're gonna start him at the power forward and change the whole way you play basketball and try to run and gun. I don't know, man. Not that Lonzo didn't play well last year. Not that he doesn't have the ability to play well. I just don't know if that fit is what I would like to see from that Minnesota team that was in the Western Conference Finals a couple years ago, that got Denver up out of there last year and didn't play horribly. If Anthony Edwards was healthy, one could make an argument they go even farther last year. So again, what's your thoughts on the trade, Calvin?
Look, I understand Minnesota taking a swing because they feel like Anthony Edwards is starting to become frustrated in Minnesota with the Western Conference Finals appearances, but nothing else after that. I mean, they've turned over the roster from getting rid of Cat to getting rid of Randall to getting rid of Reed. You traded 3 of your power forwards in the last 4 years? 3 years, I'm sorry. You have this ball handler to take pressure off of Anthony Edwards, but I just don't know if I like the fit because the usage rate is too high. can you really get anyone else involved? And now you're going to play with this small lineup, which is basically just taking away your advantage when you played Jokic. When you handled Jokic 2 out of the last 2 playoff seasons. When you played Denver, you beat them twice. And your main advantage was Rudy Gobert, it was Cat at some points, and it was Naz Reid. And you've gotten rid of that advantage to try to change your entire philosophy. Don't know if it's going to work. I like the move for Charlotte because all of a sudden now you've re-signed Kobe White. Now you have Con Knipple and Brandon Miller getting more touches. Now you have Naz Reid can get more touches as well. I like this move for Charlotte more than I like it for Minnesota. I just don't know if Minnesota can be able to stop anyone defensively now. You're relying on Rudy Gobert defensively completely at this point. He's your anchor on defense. He's going to have to show up each and every night. And offensively, can LaMelo shoot good enough and also get the ball to Anthony Edwards? We haven't seen LaMelo play off the ball yet. He's not going to have the ball in his hands as much as he did in Charlotte. Don't know if it's really a good fit, but we have 2 talents in the same draft class. I think we're excited to see it, but don't know if the fit is there. But Minnesota is trying because, like I said, I think Anthony Edwards is getting frustrated and it's getting to a point where he may ask out. So they're just trying to see what they can do until that point. But I'm not a fan of the move. I think Minnesota got worse overall.
Justin?
It's a tactic, and either it's going to go well, obviously, or it can go extremely bad, and then they can say that this was the beginning of the end for Anthony Edwards. You don't think Ant-Man is looking at Kevin Garnett, left Minnesota, won a championship? You don't think he's looking at Kevin Love, left Minnesota, won a championship? You don't think he's looking at who else was a top pick? Wiggins, left Minnesota some kind of way, ended up winning a championship. Cat left Minnesota, ended up winning the championship.
They all power forwards.
You know what I mean? But it's just it's something, right? It's something there, right? Like why all these dudes leaving? And they find success. Even if that's not the number one thing for him, it's a tactic. When you look at the championship leads to parity. Both teams had one pretty good big, and 4 guard / wing players, that type of vibe. Those were San Antonio, led by Wemby, and if you want to say Cat and the rest of the Knicks. There was no quote unquote stereotypical power forward. With that logic being what was representing in the finals, it's not hard for me to say other teams are going to try to do something similar.
But let me pause you there right there.
Okay,
you made this point. But here's where I disagree with you. Mm-hmm. Okay, I get it. Cat at least offers up to be an offensive threat. Well, you have to respect his 3, and he can take you off the dribble. Wemby, same thing. He can shoot the 3, take you off the dribble. He's the ability to score. Rudy Gobert is not scaring anybody off the dribble or his ability to score. If anything, he's a statue. He's not stretching the floor. He's not opening up lanes where your guys have raised the. He's going to clog the lane. Yeah. So no, it doesn't work the same.
And that's where I push back. It's not, of course, it's not the same because he can't shoot threes, but
he can't run the pick and roll.
I think he can at least run the mid from in between 3-point and foul line pick and roll. That's not that hard to do. That's just taking 4 steps.
That's my point. It'd be something new.
Yeah, I think
got you.
They had no other choice. It is going to be a new offense. It you know what I'm saying? Like it is. This is a different team, and it's going to be perimeter based, and they're going to be moving Rudy around a little bit. And they're going to see how good and how successful it's going to be. Who knows? But when I say like this team is probably going to be number 1, number 2 in overall 3-pointers attempted and made, yes, they're going to try to outshoot you. And when you think that it's tough to score, that's when hopefully Rudy Gobert steps up and makes some key defensive plays in the fourth quarter. That's all they ask.
I would have kept Julius Randle and traded Rudy Gobert. If you're gonna keep one of the big men, you keep the athletic big man. If that's the game you want to change.
Anthony Edwards didn't get along with him though.
So it was a personal problem.
Nobody gets along with Julius Randle.
I didn't say one was going to say it was personal. I think it was on the court related, but I didn't think. So
you think Naz Reid and Julius were like both disgruntled? So they had
I think Julius was disgruntled because he was in trade conversation in the second half of the year, and Anthony Edwards didn't like the fact that he was disgruntled. I'll say it like that.
And what
That's
about
why they traded him for
Nalzee?
nothing. I think they had to use him to get Melo. I don't think that was. I think that was just a means to an end.
I don't like giving up my advantage, especially who's very happy right now.
Jokic.
Jokic is like, thank you, I appreciate it, no problem, appreciate you. The problem here,
you can say that until Melo give you 30 in a playoff game.
He hasn't done that yet, though. We gotta see that.
He hasn't been in a playoff game.
Okay, that's his
fault.
What I'm
saying?
That's his fault too. In the East, you couldn't make a playoff game, and your first time in the playoffs was a play-in this year.
I hear you. I'm just saying.
You like them moving McDaniels to the power forward.
He can be the 6'9" stretch power forward. He's not as physically intimidating as other people, but can he stretch the floor just like anybody else? Yes. They're going to run Rudy inside and 4 out, and then their teams to beat him.
But like Larry said, they're not Denver, they're not San Antonio, so they don't have that same advantage when you have a big man that can shoot, that can stretch the floor, that's athletic, and that can serve as your point center. So they don't have that same advantage. So it's not the same. So you're trying to catch up with someone, and you don't have the manpower to do what they're doing.
He's all thumbs.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
They don't make the playoffs. Is that what you're saying? Anthony Edwards.
I didn't see that. I don't think they made the conference finals.
I don't think they go as far
as
they
made the conference finals last year when they had 9.
Now the caveat is
they didn't make it last year.
I can't pronounce the young man's name, so forgive me. I'll get it down at one. OS, whatever his name. He in the starting lineup. They signed him to an extension. He flashed last year.
Minnesota. 6'4" dude.
Yeah. He goes into the starting lineup. Io or something like that. Yeah. Now I want to see what he's able to do. Now you adding another offensive firepower. Now do you bring him off the bench? Because that's what I'm looking at as well.
He's starting.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's only one basketball. You know what I mean? Like, so again, they're going to score. I'm not taking nothing away from them. And we speaking about the Spurs and their ability to get to the finals and without the power forward, but that was why they lost in many respects, because they didn't have that other guy to take some of that pressure off Wemby. So if that usage rate of Wemby is going to be completely different than the usage rate of
6'8" power forward.
Is Tobias Harris that guy?
We had a 6'8" power forward and one.
Y'all had a different team. Like we all said,
I hear you.
New York matched up well with San Antonio. The game was about
because of Cat.
Because of Cat,
and Cat also was not an offensive threat at the game too.
And then when Cat went out, it was Mitchell Robinson. We didn't put in another big.
He dominated.
We didn't put in correct. We didn't put in another big. We're gonna have Mitchell Robinson and the same 4.
But Justin,
and see what happens.
That works against another team who doesn't have a power forward either.
It wasn't the same 4. It was Clarkson on one time.
If I'm matching up with a team
it's still got wing type players. That's what I'm saying. Still wings.
But if I don't have a power forward and you don't have a power forward, we all running 4 guards. Yeah, it works. You know what I mean? But if you're going up against a team who has, we're going to see very, very soon if the Knicks run that lineup out there against Giannis and Bam, and you know what I mean?
We're going to run that lineup with Giannis and
go on, do it,
and we're going to
I
win.
I think that's not a problem because you can guard OG
can guard Bam.
OG
can guard Bam. Yeah, that's my point. OG can guard Bam.
You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, if you legitimately have a real power forward and you legitimately have a real center. Yes, you can't necessarily just run any old lineup you want to out there and say, oh, yeah, we're just going to be better than you. That's not necessarily how it works. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to track. But it's been moves, man. I mean, Norman Powell got picked up. Left Miami.
Chicago, I think.
Chicago,
nothing. Then there's been stories that your boy out there in Sacramento trying to get out of there so he can go join a contender. He was in Chicago before. Now the guard
Levine.
No, Levine is in
DeRozan?
DeRozan. Yeah, DeRozan trying to get out of there.
Levine was the free agent, I thought. Unless he
he wanted. They was looking.
Levine
to trade
just
him, and
resigned.
they can't find nothing.
Okay.
Or picked up his player option, one or the other.
Yeah, so it's going to be some other little moves. I think LeBron is a domino. Once that domino falls, then
everything else,
other things will be made clearer. But yeah, Washington saying they're not willing to trade AD is interesting. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's keep moving. Let's get into our tournament before we get out of here tonight. So as you have been watching every week, we started our greatest NBA tournament a few weeks ago, and we're going to continue that tonight. Last week we went over the East and the West. Now that West was a little bit more competitive than the East, and we're going to do a recap of that. Also, give you all a chance to vote tonight as well. But tonight, let's unveil the Midwest. So the Midwest is going to be interesting. You got the top seed Chicago Bulls in the first round taking on the Indiana Pacers. Just at first glance, interesting lineups. So you got Derrick Rose, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and Artis Gilmore versus Tyrese Halliburton, Reggie Miller, Calvin Jalen Rose, Jermaine O'Neal, and Rick Smits. So, first glance, Calvin, these are two of your teams. We'll give you the opportunity to pick first. Who you got winning?
4-0. I mean, anybody got anything? I mean, Reggie Miller and Michael Jordan did have some battles back in the 90s.
Give them fits, man.
So out of respect, I'll say 4-1 because they're going to get one, especially at the old I was going to say Conseco Fieldhouse, but what was it called back in the 90s? But yeah, I'm gonna give Indiana. I'm gonna give Indiana one. I think they're tough. They have offensive talent, especially for their team. They have a point guard that we've seen play above and play matches competition. He goes against the superior teams. He steps up. So I'm gonna give Halliburton some respect, but 4-1 at best. At best.
Justin,
I think this is a 7-game series. I have chemistry issues way more out of Chicago than I do out of Indiana. It starts off with the person that's going to handle the ball the most. It is not Michael Jordan, ladies and gentlemen. It's Derrick Rose. And you have to tell Derrick Rose in this fantasy world that we're living in, hey, I know that you want to drive every time, but please pass the ball to Michael Jordan because he's Michael Jordan. And he has to do that.
You got to say that?
I don't have that issue with Halliburton. Matter of fact, I think Halliburton is going to try to have at least 15, 20 assists if he can. That's his makeup. And that's why I think it's going to go 7. I think Derrick Rose makes too many turnovers. And as a result of that, it causes Chicago to struggle to the point where Indiana can get some easy victories out of that.
Let me ask you one question before we go, Larry. If you put Ron Harper instead of Derrick Rose, would you say it goes less than 7?
5.
Okay.
I think this is ridiculous.
That's kind of disrespectful.
It's going 5 games. The Bulls, I give Reggie 1 because Reggie might run a miracle because he's good for a miracle. That's about it. Rick Smith,
that's disrespectful.
Barbecue chicken over there.
You always hate on Rick Smith first and foremost. As soon as he said Rick Smith, you hated on him from jump.
Well, I hated Rick Smith when he played.
And Jermaine O'Neal's going to give him all problems. They have two shooting
his lunch.
They got 2 shooting bigs, though. That's all I'm saying.
Look, Scotty is a Tommy knife. Scotty
have a decent.
Man, you got Jalen Rose out there.
If Jalen Rose, if you would have put Ron Artest right there, you would have had it, dog. I might would have took it.
Now Ron Artest is a good defensive player. He'd have been on Jordan. That would have been fun to watch. Like a prime Artest and a prime Jordan. That would have been fun defensively. Yeah, but then you ain't do that. You put Jalen Rose.
No, you did not. You put
Jalen Rose. That's what we got. Next. So we'll have a vote for this next week. So y'all will be able to vote on it. But it's just our little preview of how we think. And we'll also have our simulation of how it would play out. Moving on. Justin's Milwaukee Bucks against Justin's Denver Nuggets. This is a Midwest down. You have Sidney Moncrief Ray Allen, Michael Redd, Giannis, and Lou Alcindor, who later became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but we're only looking at him as Lou Alcindor, against, man, David Thompson, Carmelo Anthony, Nikola Jokic, and Dikembe Mutombo.
Disrespectful.
Dustin, these are your two teams. Who you got?
Oh man. Looking at this, I set this up for a reason. I love the Giannis and Kareem / Lou Alcindor type of inside, but at the same time, I mean, you got Jokic and Mutombo. That is that if anyone can see them, it will be them too. They definitely have a good 4 or 5 on both sides. This is a shooting league. Let's call it what it is. And I think Abdul Rauf is one of the better shooters that just didn't have a chance to shoot in his era. This is a different era. This is 2026. So I love the fact that he can just catch and shoot, because Melo is going to command so much offensively that it's going to put a hamper on the Milwaukee Bucks. So as a result of that, I'm going with the Denver Nuggets in 6.
Ooh, what you got, Calvin?
Like that Denver team, scoring wise, just has elite scorers. David Thompson, Carmelo, Nikola Jokic. But Milwaukee, in my opinion, Sidney Moncrief, Ray Allen, who's arguably a top 3 shooter of all time, Michael Redd, who's in his prime was arguably the best shooter in the league. And I have prime Giannis, who can handle the ball, run the offense through. And I have Lou Alcindor. I have athletic Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, basically. I'm going with Milwaukee. I think that the elite scoring on Denver is just going to be topped by Milwaukee. I have scoring options. I have shooting options. I have a power forward I can run the ball through, similar to what Denver has. But I'm gonna go with who I think is arguably the best player in the game, and Lou Alcindor. And I can run the offense through him. I'm gonna get open shots for Ray Allen and Michael Redd. I'm gonna get open threes. I think they're gonna be the better shooters in this game. It's gonna be high scoring. It's gonna be a high pace up and down the court. I'm going Milwaukee in 6.
I break the tie here. Look, man, David Thompson was not no slouch. You know what I mean? Like, he averaged about 26 points a game. He was an offensive juggernaut. So anybody who didn't see his highlights or stats, wasn't allowed to see him play, don't sell him short. The problem with this is Justin put the lineups together. So he put Michael Redd on the team. I can't do it. Say no. If Michael Redd wasn't here, this team would be so much better. But like I said, you got Lou Alcindor and Giannis together with Ray Allen, the way he shoots. Sidney Moncrief was a problem.
The way Michael Redd shoots.
I know. I'm going with Milwaukee.
You wanted old ass Chris Middleton on the team. That's what you really want.
I didn't want Chris Middleton.
I'd have considered putting the big dog on there.
I wanted Tim Thomas, but nah.
I wouldn't put Tim Thomas.
I'm joking. I like Milwaukee. I do. I just think Mutombo is not better than Kareem would eat him alive. Joker and Giannis, I don't even think they match up. But offensively, I'm taking Giannis. I just am. And it works better together. Yeah, I'm going Milwaukee. I'm going, Melo's great, but he ain't that guy. You know what I mean?
I may even consider the cross matchup, like put Giannis on Dikembe, because Dikembe not going to be that offensive threat, and put Lou Alcindor on Jokic and make him shoot over top of him, or try to go around him and kind of tire him out. And I think that's
Melo and Michael Redd.
Melo going to get his. How many shots is he going to get? That's my problem. Melo, you can make the argument Melo is the worst scorer on the team. outside of Dikembe. You can make that argument. Like David Thompson was a scoring machine.
Yeah, but Melo was too. Prime Melo was a beast.
Eh,
Hey, let's not act like Melo ain't average
that's fine.
28.
He
Right,
getting the ball? How many
Yeah,
times
he
Yeah,
he
getting
because
get?
the ball.
Jokic
You
is going to
Melo.
give him the ball.
No.
Come on, man.
I
Let's
mean,
not act like Melo ain't average.
who do you want shooting? Jokic or Melo?
I want
Who you
Jokic to
want-
give him
Game
the
on
ball.
line?
No. I'm just saying, who you run the offense? Who do you want to take the shot in the floor of the offense? Jokic or Melo?
Melo.
Cause I feel like Melo's going to need a 1-on-1, and we know he's going to stop.
Well,
the
you know
offense.
he's gonna face you up.
Taking a shot is one thing, but controlling the offense, it's still Jokic.
Jokic.
This
all
is
day.
this is similar to his championship squad. You can I upgraded your homeboy from Orlando with Tumbo.
Aaron Gordon.
Eric Gordon with Matumbo, so he's still playing a dunker spot in a sense in that realm. You have your scorer. Jokic just needs scores. He just needs somebody else to score.
You know,
Which is why KD should be on that
I
team.
just don't like the lineups. I mean, Sidney Moncrief.
Are you
One of the
changing
best
your
point guards they
opinion?
ever had. He
I was gonna
helped
say
beat
who-
Jordan before Jordan was Jordan.
I was
Sidney
gonna say-
Moncrief average 1.5 assists, 3 assists, 3 assists, 3 assists, 4.9, 5.2, 4.5, 3.9. He never averaged over 5 assists a game. Like
Do I
the
need
most points he
who-
scored in a season was 22. Like I'm going with them.
You know, he was a defensive guy too. So
I was
did
getting
you
ready to
switch
say.
this now?
I'm
He
switching.
did.
Okay.
I can't have
Did you switch?
I can't have Sidney Moncrief and Michael Redd. Nah. As much as I
disrespectful.
love Giannis and Lou Alcindor and Ray Allen, it just doesn't outweigh it enough. I can hang my hat
Just
on
name people
Mutombo's
from both
defense.
teams.
Huh? I can
Just
hang
name people.
David Thompson, Melo, Jokic. I can take all 4 of them. But
Okay.
yeah, that's Denver. I'm going Denver. And we'll have a vote for this so the public can give their opinion next week. And you'll put this through the simulation.
I can't wait.
If they even allow some of these people to be on the game. So
They
you
already
might
on
have,
there.
you might have to create some of these knuckleheads.
I
Anyway,
had to create Reggie and Chuck. That's what I had to find.
Yeah, great. Reggie Miller.
They don't give their licenses because they are against
Oh
that
yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing.
I remember Chuck saying that. I remember
Yeah.
Chuck saying that. Yeah.
interesting. And finally, 2 other Justice teams: Kyrie Irving, Ron Harper, LeBron James, Sean Kemp, and Brad Daughtry
Sean Kemp
versus-
so disrespectful.
Isaiah Thomas,
I
Kay
this
Cunningham,
line.
Grant Hill, Ben
Brad
Wallace.
Daughtry is actually a
and
black
Bob
man.
Lanier.
I just want to throw that out there.
Hey man, all I did was put
I
the
just-
thing in
I
there.
just want. It's been pretty good. Like we all know it was.
Hey.
It was horrible the other day, last week.
I've been going up
This one
against
was actually spot on.
I
Except
was
for Brad
going
Daughtry.
up against time. It is what it is. So who y'all got? I'll start
Look at
with
the
you,
fantasy
Justin.
matchup. Look at the You got Isaiah versus Kyrie Irving. First and foremost, fantasies alone. That is spectacular. You have Grant Hill and LeBron James. Once again, fantasy
Yeah.
matchups galore.
Yeah.
Kay Cunningham versus a defensive minded, one of the only ones to help slow down a prime, still got hair on his head, Michael Jordan. These are the matches that we're talking about here. You got Ben Wallace versus a Sean Kemp saying, hey, just because Seattle let me go doesn't mean I ain't still going to the All-Star game for this Cleveland Cavaliers squad, in which you will see the blue jersey once I do the simulation. Also, you have Bob Lanier, shout out to the classic legend that he is versus not white man, black man, and Brad Daughtry. This is a good lineup, man. This is 2 good teams that's going to battle each other. But at the end of the day, I'm going with LeBron James because he's just that much better than everybody else.
Interesting. What you got, Calvin?
I think this is a good matchup. I think this could easily go 6 or 7. Like I said, some of these matchups are great. The front court, specifically power forward centers, could be a little bit better, but I digress. But I've seen LeBron take less talented teams to the final. So, and we were talking about peak of his powers, probably on the downside slightly of his peak in Cleveland. So I'm going with Cleveland, and we still get prime Kyrie as well. The playmaker is going to get Sean Kemp and Brandon Doherty, easy basket. So yeah, I'm going Cleveland. But I think it could go 6. It could go 6.
Cleveland in a hard fought 5. Y'all, you mentioned it, Calvin, when I first brought this to the paper or whatever. You know, it's just they don't have enough shooting, outside shooting.
It's disrespectful.
What's disrespectful?
Like, K is good. Don't get me wrong. It's premature. Like, this is premature. You gonna put him over there over Joe Dumas, Richard Hamilton, who won a championship with this team. Like, come on, man. That was led
by Chauncey Billups and
Ben Wallace. Rick was great.
He was he was like the fourth wheel of that team, to be honest with you.
He wasn't no fourth wheel.
You just mentioned Rasheed Wallace. I will put. I actually thought about putting Rasheed here, like Rasheed, Ben Wallace, Chauncey, and then it was Rip, and then Tayshaun. Nobody was checking for Rip like that.
Yeah,
not on that team.
I think that's false. Cade's good, but how many great seasons has he had? One.
He just was number one.
He couldn't finish that.
Yeah, too.
Again,
because he just needed one more offensive player on his team. Just one.
Cleveland. I give him credit. But Isaiah, you deserve better, man. You deserve to run with a better squad. I might even put Dennis Rodman on here. You know,
Dennis Rodman wasn't Dennis Rodman yet.
Put a goon on there. Go and put.
You got Ben Wallace as a goon. What are you talking about?
He wasn't a goon.
Ben Wallace was a goon.
He the reason they started the Malice.
No, he's not the reason they started.
He the one that hit Ron.
He hit Ron, and then Ron went to the table. Because he didn't want no parts of Ben Wallace. He didn't want no parts of Ben Wallace.
He had good head on his shoulders. Good job.
This is Ron on test, like ready to fight anybody at that time period. And when Ben Wallace hit him, he said, "I'm gonna go sit on this table."
It's not enough bad boy Piston representation on this team for them to really represent what Detroit basketball was about. You know, I mean, Grant Hill, I get it. He never reached his full potential. So, I mean, but I get it from a name.
He was making an all-star team without even playing.
Yeah, is that good? Is that good?
That's how good he was. He said, "Yo, there's nobody in the East that can play small forward other than Grant Hill."
Man, stop it, man. It's childhood memories, man. Childhood memories. Let's keep it moving. All right, final one for this bracket: Minnesota Timberwolves, Sam Cassell, Anthony Edwards don't look nothing like himself. Charles Sprewell, I don't know if that's Kevin Garnett or, you know, Bobo.
Like Travis
Anthony
Outlaw.
Towns.
Like Bo Outlaw.
Versus Gary Payton.
That's what you said.
This could have been a Seattle Supersonics outfit.
I know.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Kevin Durant, Sean Kemp, and Serge Ibaka.
OKC in 4.
Got disrespectful.
It is. He put Sam Cassell in his lineup.
I don't like that.
See, this is my thing about you. You talk about other time. Oh, the teams need to mesh together. You need to really fill out a basketball squad. Sam gonna set everybody up for success. Yeah. The best year they had in that period when Sam was running the point and he was putting everybody where they needed to be. He gonna make sure Anthony Edwards get the ball exactly where he needs to be. He ain't gonna need to be the ball handler. Latrell gonna eat. I don't care what you say. KG gonna be KG
over Kevin Durant.
Not over him, but he gonna get his, and he gonna play him tough. And he gonna play him tough. And if it need to be, a fight might break out, and he gonna squall up.
He gonna go right after the coach. That's what he's going to.
He might choke anything in his way. Hey, Kevin Garnett,
he got his money.
I ain't got to say much. I'll take him over Sean Kemp any day, all day.
I don't know about
7 days a week.
That's tough.
So
and Carl Anthony Towns, I'll take him over Serge. I'm going with Minnesota. I don't even think it's that much of a controversy.
OKC in 4.
4 is disrespectful because
Minnesota. Give him a gentleman sweep there. How about that?
Minnesota's front court is vastly better than OKC's. Like I don't like that front court, but
you have to include you have to include Kevin Durant in that as well.
Okay, if you want to include Kevin Durant, it's not vastly.
It's still better,
but it's still better. But I love Kevin Durant in this series. He's going to be the best player in the series. I get prime Shea, who's going to be able to give Anthony Edwards fits, in my opinion, as well.
Anthony Edwards going to get his.
I'm going with OKC, but I think they can beat them on the inside. KG will win you a game. He'll bring out the best of Karl Anthony Towns, so it'll go 6 longer than it should. But at the end of the day, OKC going to win this game.
OKC,
I'm sorry.
Disrespectful. That's your problem now. You don't respect these dark skinned men. You only like them light skinned fellas. Let's keep it moving.
What are you talking about?
Like, what?
So let's take a quick glance at the South as the hour's getting late. San Antonio Spurs and the Charlotte Hornets. I think we all got San Antonio there in the South. The Orlando Magic and the Dallas Mavericks. That's going to be interesting. Again, we'll look at these breakdowns next week because I didn't get a chance. It was running out late. The Houston Rockets and the New Orleans Pelicans, and then the Miami Heat and the Memphis Grizzlies. You'll all have an opportunity to vote on these games next week. But those are the breakdown of the South. Let's quickly jump back to the West from last week. And one of the main matchups was the Utah Jazz and the Portland Trailblazers. Now, Justin was able to do something, and I want you to talk us through it. We're not going to play the audio, but we had a video that you put together from the simulation. What happened? Tell us about it. Simulation.
Basically, when you have these two lineups going against each other, there was one significant upgrade and one significant downgrade. Andre Kirilenko completely outclassed Brandon Roy. That was the number one thing for me. And then on top of that, Mitchell, as much as we talked about Mitchell, if anything that Utah needed was a goddamn shooting guard that can actually shoot, that was Donovan Mitchell. He played his ass off, and then Karl Malone ended the series, and they beat him 4-0.
4-0.
4-0. I ran it 4-0. And this is not just I'm just letting them play. Like, okay, after you lose, I am making slight offensive adjustments. Maybe you didn't give it to your bigs enough and things of that nature. Clyde wasn't getting involved as much. I tried to even this thing out as much as I could without doing too much, and nothing worked. Utah was just one of the best overall solid starting fives so far.
So, guys, let's take a look at this lineup. Once again, yeah, John Stockton, Donovan Mitchell, Andre Kirilenko, Karl Malone, and Rudy Gobert, who swept Calvin's Portland Trailblazers, both of these Calvin teams, of Dame Lillard, Clyde Drexler, Brandon Roy, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Bill Walton, who somebody told me was the best player on the court here. So Bill Walton got up out of there in 4 games with Clyde by his side, like the old days. Dame Lillard, Brandon Roy. Maybe they just didn't like that Brandon Roy addition to the team. Maybe that was
Karl Malone. Man, I'm going to work.
Hey, man, you said
Karl.
Man, greatest scorer in NBA's history. So we're going to move on. Guys, I'm what we're going to do is in the chat, if you have the opportunity, who do you have winning this matchup between the Utah Jazz and the Portland Trailblazers? You let us know. We're going to keep that thing live in the chat as we go. Keep us informed on what you're thinking. It should be fun. It should be interesting. All right. The polls in the chat. Y'all jump in there. Give yourself an opportunity to answer. You let us know what you think. Who wins between these two teams? As you saw the simulation. How do you call it simulation? Simulation.
It is not a civilization of a simulation.
Yo, I'm working on very little sleep. Y'all have opportunity to vote. Go on and vote. All right, next. Let's go to the next matchup now. Justin, you put these two teams in, the Clippers and the Phoenix Suns. Let's remind everybody, Chris Paul, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Blake Griffin, Bob McAdoo.
I think we all went for the Suns, too.
With the Phoenix Suns.
I just want to throw that out.
Look at this lineup.
Don't tell me the Clippers went to work.
Now, these are both my teams. And
they are.
Four straight games.
The Chris Paul effect.
No, has nothing to do with Chris Paul.
It's
when I
Kawhi
say
Leonard.
that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George took over this series, both offensively and defensively. Devin Booker and Paul George washed them every step of the way for 4 games straight. Kawhi Leonard was making it was lunch meat out there for him. The problem with Phoenix is they just didn't have enough overall defense so that they couldn't stop those 2 wings as much as you would think they would want to. Sean Merriman, he just didn't have what it takes to go against Kawhi Leonard, at least a prime Kawhi Leonard, and it was a wrap. They got him. Paul George damn near outscored the team in Game 3 by himself. It was terrible. You saw that score right there. Yeah, man. They got him out of here 4-0. Bob McAdoo closed the series out. Yeah, it was just shocking to see what a 2-way player does when you have 2. This is what they envisioned.
2 of them.
This is what they envisioned the Clippers to be when they brought him over. It's just it never played like that, and when it actually mattered, especially in the bubble. But yeah, they took over the series.
All right, guys. Hey, once again. So you see what the simulation.
God damn.
Pause. I got you next time.
But the Clippers and the Suns 1-on-1. Now we all had the Suns last week, and I'm not moving off of that. But y'all let us know what y'all think, man. You know, Suns and Clippers. We know what the simulation just said.
There we go.
There you go.
But damn, that's interesting. That is interesting. And the final matchup from last week's first round the Western Conference with the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings. And I think this was pretty much how it was supposed to go, correct?
This went 4-1, guys. Sacramento got a game out of this. And it's because, Pager had a 6-for-6 3-point type of a night. And when he did that, that's what took it to the next level. And then the game, the closeout game, it went into overtime. What had happened was Oscar Robertson realized that he could score on Steph Curry. And Steph Curry fired back, but it was no stopping Oscar Robertson, and that was the thing. And even when they tried to double, then they just threw it to Mitch Richmond. This was a very good Sacramento lineup because you had a sharpshooter on the outside, which helped out a lot of things. But they gave the ball to Durant. They gave the ball to Curry. Klay Thompson didn't have the best. Honestly, the problem with the Golden State Warriors is their small forward, Rick Barry. He was just out there at times, not providing anything defensively. And maybe that was the hiccup there. But they advanced 4-1. I'm actually proud that Sacramento got one victory. I'm watching the game just like it's on TV. I'm like, yo, they gonna get away with this one? They got one. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so there you have it. You all have a chance to vote on this one as well. We'll see. Who do you have? I think this was pretty much a consensus on all of our part. We had Golden State moving on, but y'all let us know if y'all agreed on that. But I think that's interesting exercise. I don't agree with some of the simulations. Some of the simulations
will arrive.
If that's what happened, I don't see Portland not getting a game. Like, come on, really? And I definitely don't see Phoenix getting up out of there at 4-0. That's a stretch. That's a stretch. When you got Steve Nash, Devin Booker, Sean Murray, Charles Barkley, and Amari Stoudemire, you can't get a game? Like, come on. But it's still interesting. All right, in the East, we went over the East last week and we made our picks. But Justin, next week you'll have your what you put into the game.
East finish, yeah.
And we'll go over that on next week to make sure that everything that was good.
Shout out to Bob Pettit, man.
Chill out. Yeah. Yeah, where it's really kicking your ass tonight, huh? Hey, it happens sometimes,
Civilization.
A little jet lag.
Civilizations.
But I appreciate that. Y'all having my back. Clearly you don't. But here we go.
Not at all.
So it's about getting to 11 o'clock, but man, basketball really dominated this past week. A lot going on, but the World Cup has been happening. Baseball, The Yankees are struggling. Orioles in the wild card race. I think they only about at last I checked, I think they were a game and a half behind. Like something crazy like that.
Like it.
No.
But I think everybody else sucked too. So it's like you in distance. So wrestling has been interesting. You saw Night of Champions last week. New WWE undisputed champion in Sami Zayn.
What's the plan for Sami?
I really don't know. I don't not like it. I don't like it. I don't dislike it. I just think they're making their way to SummerSlam, my friend. You know what I mean? I don't like Oba winning the King of the Ring and then forfeiting the title shot. And
I didn't understand that. Well,
I like the fact that he's not going after the title right now because, like we talked about last week, I think if he's going after, he has to win it. And I think they want him to win it at WrestleMania. So that's why I never understood why you put him either to get that far in the King of the Ring, one, or why did you put a title shot as the prize for winning it? When we were growing up, King of the Ring
gave it to the person that was in the King of the Ring tournament.
Yeah.
Seth could have easily run.
But they've never said who's fighting Sami at SummerSlam. Because we don't even know who's going to the title SummerSlam.
SmackDown hasn't happened yet.
I mean, everyone knows. Well, okay. You're right.
It shows tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's Cody and Jay. One of them.
Well, Cody and Sami are supposedly facing each other.
Cody and Jay.
Spoiler, folks. Spoiler.
Yeah, no. You just spoiled it. No, it's Cody and Jay, and the winner faces Sami.
Is that supposed to happen on SmackDown?
Cody and Jay fight on SmackDown. The winner faces Sami next week.
Apologize if I just spoiled that for everybody, but yeah. Now that we're here, Cody and Sami will face each other in Chicago for the title, but they doing it on Raw.
Can you tell the people who lives in Chicago?
CM Punk will be back, and the proposed match for SummerSlam will be Cody versus CM Punk.
And CM Punk.
But
with who coming back?
Somebody else coming back?
Randy not coming back?
I hear voices.
I haven't heard that confirmed.
You wasn't listening to the voices.
Yeah, but again, I don't have a problem with short title reigns if you have the guy defending the title. Like I just told y'all about Darby Allin and AEW. He won the title, and in 1 month he defended the title. I want to say 12 times. So he had a full title reign within every show he wrestled. He was on Dynamite, he was on Collision, and by the end of that reign, you felt like, damn, that was a hell of every match was great. But if you only wrestle once, win the title, and then you don't get a title, you don't even get to defend your title before you lose it, what have you done? Absolutely nothing. So they might swerve us, and Sami might win. And they might be a three-way. You know how they do. You never know. If the fans revolt, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't think it can't. It has to go that way because Oba isn't in the match. Like, I don't see how you can have it go any other way without Oba being in the match that makes sense.
Well, Oba's facing Brock. That's it.
Correct. I mean, but I mean, like you say, he won the King of the Ring. He gets a title shot, and then he's not getting a title shot at SummerSlam. So it makes no sense. And you introduced this during the middle of the King of the Ring. So what was the purpose of it? Did you not think Brock was going to show up at SummerSlam? Was that it?
No, they introduced this before the King of the Ring.
I thought it was during the tournament. I thought it was during the tournament.
No. Remember, Brock beat him. He came out the next night.
I thought they introduced it like after the first round. They said the winner gets a title shot. I didn't think it was at the beginning of the tournament.
This is before. They did it last year too.
Okay.
But that's my point.
You know, I really saw a scenario where Sami was going to do something stupid and like have an open world title challenge,
and
like
Brock
real stupid, right? And then that guitar, that diddle, I was about to go like, yo, that's, and then I was like, damn, he did that shit for Oba. Oh man! All right, Oba can do both, right? He can fight both of them. You want to forfeit your chance, man? What we do King of the Ring for?
It was no
Yeah.
point.
What was the point in winning? Yeah.
But I don't think you need to put the title shot as a prize for King of the Ring. It was
But it
never
makes
like
it
that.
fun though. It was never like that, but it wasn't. It's not bad. So just
I don't
don't
think-
pivot out of it.
I think you had Money in the Bank there, and that's what Money in the Bank was for.
Yeah.
But they
that's for,
moved
like,
Money in the Bank.
All year. You know, you got 364 days to cash that in.
I just again, if you have an idea on who you want to win the title at SummerSlam, have him win King of the Ring. You know what I mean? Like, don't
That's it.
book yourself into a corner. Like you say, Seth should have won the match. Like it was a
And
four-way. It wasn't
Because
like
it was a 4-way, that would have gave over
That's your out.
a good L. He didn't even have to. He could have been dominant and somebody did something behind his back real quick.
Brock could have came out and
I don't think
they
Seth
could have
could
pulled
Brock
out
could
the
have
crowd.
pulled him out. It's
Yeah.
just as simple as that.
I agree with.
It's not rocket
The only
science.
way Seth wins if you're gonna have Seth beat Roman, and I don't think that's gonna happen yet.
Seth not beating Roman.
I know that's why I said the
Yeah.
only way he should. But I don't think you. I don't
But
like
he's
how
fighting.
that. Correct, but I don't think Seth's gonna win. And he's fighting this whole "you never beat anything," even though we know he's lost him before. So he can't lose clean. Like it's got to be some way that Seth wins but doesn't win the title.
I don't think so. I think Seth's just gonna lose.
I think Roman's going to get him clean this time.
Yeah, I mean, I just
No,
At
no,
SummerSlam, I think you say that for WrestleMania.
no for what?
You can't trust that these guys are going to be healthy by WrestleMania.
Yo, you can't
You got
never
a
put
point.
your trust in Seth. Seth
You
is
got
an
a point.
injury-prone person.
You got a point.
That's why you gotta do the
Mm.
match now.
That's the point.
And
So
again, Seth is not young. He doesn't need
That is
to
true.
win all the time. Like he
That
is.
is
He
true.
just
that
lost to
was
Braun
probably
Breaker.
the best thing about his
He beat him too. though.
his promo.
That's good.
He was
Go
like,
ahead.
"Look, man, this might be the end. Like
It
it's
might be.
Yeah, yeah.
this really might be it. Like these dudes are like in their 40s
Yes.
with hella opportunities outside of wrestling. These ain't
Yeah.
just like I can only do wrestling. No, like they
Yes.
can open their own stuff, just like AJ Styles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. 40 is the new 30. But at the same time,
Not with those mouths.
but seriously. Think about some of the ages of some of the guys that's still running. Like Roman is early mid
I think
40s.
early
like,
40s. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, but he's reserved his body so much because he wrestles so infrequently. So yeah, you can go a little longer when you're not on the road like them guys used to be in the 90s, that like every night wrestling
Yeah.
300 nights a year and all that. They're not doing that no more. So yeah, you can go a little longer. Cody is in his mid 40s. CM Punk in his late 40s. Like these are old. Drew McIntyre, almost all of these guys. So Randy, you got to start phasing them back. But you know what they really see? They see the Obafemi. He's going to be in the main event. Like you have to clear the deck for some of these guys while keeping
yes,
your
you
veterans strong.
That's a good point. And they just got to find a better way to do it. Like the way Braun lost, I don't think that was the best option. Like he needs to lose. If he was going to make him lose because you're going to have the pump up Seth to go against Roman, that's one thing. The way he lost, I'm like, oh my God, like you haven't beaten anybody of significance.
And he's not going to at this point.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. You still got to upgrade your B guys. If you're going to have Oba as an A, maybe Trick as an A, if these are going to be your A guys moving forward, you got to have strong B guys to make those rivalries work. And they're diminishing some of these B guys, and that's my problem.
Trick got to get better in the ring, dog.
True.
His matches boring.
Sure.
Suck. Like call it what it is. Like I've
He's
never
entertaining.
seen him. I've never seen him have a good match. Like is NXT.
When does he have how does he have a bad match? That's a good question. How is it bad or boring?
It's dry. He doesn't get the crowd engaged enough outside of interest. And I think this is a big problem a lot of these young
He
guys
doesn't
got.
say whoop that trick during the match.
But that's what I'm saying.
He
That
doesn't
they
pimp
get
slap people.
everything gets stuck around one or two catchphrases, and you don't extend it out from there. And the crowd uses so much energy on the entrance. Once the entrance is done, they just sitting on their hands a lot of the times. Go back and watch some of these matches. Now you can blame it on the crowd in Saudi at this last week, but I've seen like the Sami Zayn match. I'm like,
That was entertaining.
I didn't think the first one definitely wasn't. Now,
I did say
Ilya Dragunov,
I saw Trick and Ricky have better matches in NXT. I did say that.
No,
I did see that. So
and
yeah.
I'm just saying, I think from a moveset perspective, he needs to increase his output, especially when you compare him to some of these other young guys who they got some explosive movesets. I don't want him to become a Jey Uso, where it's the ring entrance and the match don't back it up. And Jay, to me, is the poster child for that. You don't want to become that. That's all I'm saying. So, again, I think Braun Breaker will be fine. He came back. He got a big victory over Seth. I think they won one now, or they
won one.
Yeah. So if they see each other down the line, you can hold off on it.
But with Paul leaving the division, doesn't it make sense for him to go face now?
That don't mean he's leaving Braun.
Yeah, I think he leaving Austin Theory. He's trash.
I thought he was leaving Braun, and then you get Bronson Reed come back, and now you have that rivalry.
I think he's just focusing on with the Brock situation right now.
I mean, that's not
long
term.
That's what I'm saying. Once Brock cleared the deck, then you come with something fresh. I just think that vision thing ran its course. To be honest,
because of injuries.
I mean, it is what it is. Snake bit. But the bloodline thing, look, I get it. It's a good story to some extent. I don't get the Solo aspect. What the hell's up with Solo? Is he a baby face now?
I think he's going baby face. Does it make sense?
Anyway,
but what else is there for him? So
yeah, we gotta get into some NFL next week. So we'll concentrate on these. So I'm gonna throw it out to y'all. We'll check these polls. We'll check back next week. Add the new simulations from
civilizations.
The rest of the conferences that we didn't get to cover this week, and we'll be back on Wednesday of next week. We thank y'all for tuning in tonight, and as you tune in throughout the week. So happy July to everybody. This is the greatest month in the world, in humanity. And this is the month where two of us are celebrating our birthday. So, Leo season is coming upon us very vastly.
Their 40th birthday. They old as hell. Don't not add the year to it.
You already 40. You already 40.
We appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. We'll be back next week right here for another edition. Get off the damn.
The senior edition.
You already said your back was hurting.